What's up guys, Rhino here and welcome to my latest FIFA 19 video. Now in this video today guys, I'm going to actually be completing quite a controversial SBC, one which has split opinions across social media, across kind of the FIFA community really, but in general probably it's the views have been quite negative towards it. Now it's going to be this Champions League team of the group stage Aymeric Laporte. Now you look at his card, not the worst card in the world. Like 69 pace obviously is not hugely brilliant, but I've used players with like that kind of level of pace in the past. Like for example, in my current team I've got Chiellini who has exactly 69 pace and I think he's absolutely brilliant. Really good defending stat, pretty decent physical, decent passing. I touched on this a little bit in my rewards video obviously. And we've got like, you know, just look at his in-game stats, pretty much what you'd expect from a centre-back really. Nothing kind of out of the ordinary, I suppose. Like he's decent free kick stats. He's got pretty good passing stats to be honest for a defender, which is quite nice. Composure's actually quite normal for a defender actually. I think there's a lot of centre-backs out there who have surprisingly high composure in comparison to a lot of attackers, which is quite unusual. Stamina's not overly brilliant, but to be honest, in centre-back that doesn't actually matter too much from what I've experienced. He's got good strength. Okay jumping, but he is 6'2", so that's probably enough in terms of jumping. But the only kind of downside really guys is that he has medium defensive work rate. Now it depends, depends how kind of, you know, how touchy you kind of get with work rates. I mean personally I would probably like it to be high, but I'm more than willing to give this card a go is what I would say. Now I'll bring up the team which you have to kind of put together for it. Obviously not exactly this team, it just has to be something of this kind of description, but what you need is at least one Man City player, at least one inform, so one team of the week player. The squad has to be at least 84 rated and it has to have at least 80 chemistry as well. So straight away you see that obviously like 84 rated team, it's going to be, you know, fairly expensive, not like overly expensive. And the fact you need a team of the week player obviously means that you're going to be adding on probably at least kind of 15-20k. I would probably say at least 15-20k on the inform, just because if you go out there and pick up like a really low rated inform that's like discard price, then you're going to make it a lot more difficult to build the rest of the team. So I've ended up having Bakayoko in here. That's only because I actually already had him. You can see he's untradeable. I've packed him like 2 or 3 times this year. I think I've packed his inform twice and I got his red card, so I've absolutely no problem sticking him into this SBC. He costs about like 20k tops on the market. It's about 17-18k, something like that. Like really cheap. 83 rated, so straight away that gets you like pretty close to staying on track to having an 84 rated squad by having him in there. Some of the players in here I did have to buy, just because when you need 80 chemistry, it then does become quite difficult to make a team straight off the bat with players that you've got in your club, unless you've literally got a proper stacked club. Now for me, I have plenty of players to get an 11 together in this rating, but I don't have enough players to, you know, put all the links together, so I had to buy a few players. And you can see like I've got Manolas player left mid, which is obviously a bit odd, so I bought him for like 9.3k, but I worked my way through the team anyway. So goalkeeper is Adan. He is a player which I already had, and he gets a link to Jimenez, who is also a first owner player, and he also links to Lucas Hernandez, who I did pick up for like basically 3k. Obviously an 82 rated card, which is like okay really in this particular situation. The rest of it, I suppose, you kind of like the way I built around is obviously I knew I had to put the inform in, so I had Bakayoko. Then the way I built around that, we had Nzonzi from Roma, who's a first owner player. I also already had Dzeko, so I stuck him straight in there up front, which is like very good. I've been looking to try and use that Dzeko for a while in an SBC, to be honest, being an 85, and it's just fallen perfectly here for him really in this one. Originally I did actually have like players like either like El Shaarawy or Perotti, like another Roma left mid to go there, but they weren't of high enough rating. But luckily, because of the chemistry and like the green links in the other areas of the squad, I could get away with just having a centre back out there in the form of Manolas, and because he's an 85 rated, it gets the 84 rated overall team rating there. And then the rest of it really is just kind of just players that are of a decent kind of rating that I bought off the market. I mean, Tovan I did actually already have, and he gets just like a little soft link to Bakayoko, which is nice. It's being 84 rated as well, it's quite good. This little trio down here was all paid for. So Fabregas was 5.2k, I picked up Company for 12k and Lichtsteiner 650 coins. So in this particular situation, I think originally I had like Trippier in there for an 82. And then because of the other like Champions League market matchups SBC, we need like either Barcelona or Tottenham players. His price like shot up, so I was like, okay, I need to try and find an alternative now. And in the end, I realised it actually didn't matter about kind of like any links or anything like that. It was like rating, just as long as it was at least an 80 rated player. So I could literally pick up like a non-rare Lichtsteiner, which is absolutely fine. Now, a lot of sites are saying that this particular, I suppose you could call it like this particular squad, it would cost about 55k is what a lot of people kind of suggesting and predicting. Do I think it's worth it if you were to do it from scratch? I think it kind of depends. It really depends on what your outlook on the game is and how you like to play it. If you take it like incredibly seriously and you want to like manage your coins extremely well and you only want to go out there and like invest in the best possible cards, like I know there's a lot of people who don't like to do a lot of like SBCs to get untradeable players because it locks your coins in the player, obviously, because you then can't get your coins back. So if you're one of those kind of people, I probably would say don't do it, because he isn't, like, don't get me wrong, there are better centre backs out there, and he's not exactly like a meta player. But for me personally, I explained in my last video that I think he's actually really useful in that he gets good links to other Man City players such as like Edison and Walker, who are really good actually on this game. I really like Edison, and obviously Walker's obviously going to be very good. I've not actually had the privilege to use him yet, but I know that he's going to be very good. So I think that's kind of a good thing that he links there. But yeah, I think like he's not a meta player, so that certainly I can see, like I totally understand why some people just are completely against doing him for like 50k. But for me personally, when it's all about like the enjoyment of the game, and like I enjoy creating these squads so I can bring it to you guys, so you can obviously like, you get an understanding a little bit more. You kind of understand a little bit more whether it is worth doing, and it'd be quite good. I feel like at some point later on in the year, when the game kind of dies off a bit, it'll be nice to have these various players, so I can just build like random little squads and just like put together little videos for you guys, like of using some of these players that maybe I haven't used like at this point in the game, but when I'm playing it just for like even more like just for fun, not necessarily like the competitive side of FUT Champ, stuff like that, it'd be quite interesting just to be able to try out those players. So certainly for me, I'm more than happy to do him. And like I said, it's probably about 50k if you're doing it from scratch. Now, in terms of what it's cost me personally, I mean, what we're looking like 12k, 15k, 20k. We just ran up to like 30. So yeah, I'd say 30 to be fair, because I like Lichtsteiner. So yeah, literally like 30k it's cost me personally. So yeah, probably a little bit more if you were to do it all from scratch. The only obviously other kind of like downside to this particular SBC is that the reward is literally just Laporte. So unlike some other SBCs where you might get like a couple of packs or whatever as rewards to kind of like recuperate some coins, you don't get anything from this one. There will be no packs. You literally just get the player. So whatever it costs you to build this squad is what it's going to cost you to do the SBC. There's no way of kind of like reducing the cost of it by getting lucky in a pack. So you have to kind of take that into consideration. Ooh, very nice music in the background for this one. I like that, very dramatic. Very good. Very good indeed. UEFA Champions League team of the tournament. Very small right in there. I'll get my spectacles out. Yeah, so there he is really, guys. I mean, that's kind of it. Not really a lot more to it, obviously. Unfortunately, there's no packs or anything like that for me to kind of go through. I do appear to have sold something, which is this guy, which I listed earlier on today. But yeah, just really kind of did that just for you guys, just so you can see how to do it. And hopefully I've kind of given you a few like pros and cons as to like why you could do it and why not to do it. And it honestly just depends on how, like, what your outlook is on the game and what your like your personal situation in terms of coins, stuff like that. You can't actually see it right now, but I've got like 80k, so I have a little bit of a cushion in terms of funds, which does lead me to kind of consider maybe possibly doing the Tony Kroos SBC, but I'm not overly set in stone on that, just because I'm not sure that I would actually use him. But then I've played against him a couple of times and he was phenomenal, so it makes me think I should do him. But I'll have to decide on that. The only kind of issue now is that for him, I don't actually have any way of getting like a huge kind of boost in terms of coins, because we've had the rewards now, and by the time the next rewards come out, he will have expired. I think he's only probably got like a day left on him, so I'm not sure if I will end up doing him or not, to be honest, guys. But certainly the Laporte is one which I wanted to do, because I wanted to get at least one of these squads done for you, just so you can see how they get on. But hopefully you did enjoy that video, guys. So if you did, then feel free to leave a like, comment to let me know your opinions on the squad, and if there's kind of anything I missed as well, like any like pros or cons to it that I may have missed out. I try to sort of go over everything, but honestly, when I'm kind of talking to you guys about like all these different things, like the amount of ideas that swirl around in my head, and then by the time I mention about a couple of them, I forget half the other ones I was had in my head. So I probably missed something, but yeah, hopefully that was quite useful. Obviously, you can subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and there's info in the description below about like my Twitter, Insta, stuff like that. If you want to follow me on there for any other like updates and little like opinions, stuff like that, I would, I retweet like things like the team of the week and all that, so you can keep updated with that. But that is it from me, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.